How's it going, everyone? We've talked quite a bit about Japanese RPGs that are coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5, but now let's take a look at some RPGs that are coming to the PS4 and 5, and no JRPGs will be mentioned. We've done a lot of videos taking a look at upcoming JRPGs, so you can look up those videos. However, in this video, I do want to take a look at some of the other RPGs that are dropping in the rest of 2022. Got a couple of upgrades to go over, a couple of new IPs, and everything in between, so let's get right into it, and let's start things off with Spider's next RPG, and that is Steelrising. Now, for those of you that don't know about Spiders, they're more of a low-key studio. However, they did Greedfall, and they've also done titles such as The Technomancer, Mars Warlogs, and I feel like with each game that Spiders is putting out, they are getting better and better. I'm not saying that they're a top-tier RPG development studio yet. However, you can definitely see improvements across all of their games, and Steelrising is a very interesting game in the sense that it has a very unique premise. The game is set in Paris 1789. The French Revolution has been suppressed with bloodshed by Louis XVI and his merciless mechanical army. Aegis, a mysterious automaton masterpiece, must confront the king's army alone to save history in a challenging action RPG. The game is definitely looking to be a fast-paced, action-oriented RPG. You are one of the main characters of an alternate history where Paris is being choked by a tyrant king. Allies and enemies with unclear motives will cross your path. It's up to you to cut a path through all the plotting and put an end to one man's madness so that the French Revolution ends up succeeding. Up against the king's mechanical soldiers, deadly accuracy will be needed. String together dodges, parries, jumps, and devastating attacks to fight your way through Paris. Every boss will test your nerve and requires excellent discipline, while the huge relentless machine bosses demand patience and skill. The main character itself, Aegis, a character with extraordinary skills. Define your own playstyle and upgrade your abilities as you progress through the game. You can play as a ruthless warrior, a hard-hitting bodyguard, a deadly dancer, a virtuoso of the elemental arts. Take advantage of a wide variety of weapons and skills to approach each fight in your own unique way. Steelrising will be hitting PlayStation 5 on September 8th. Next up, we have Temtem. Temtem's a game that's been in early access for quite a while on PC and has had generally a pretty positive reception. Obviously, the game is going to see its comparisons to Pokemon. They don't shy away from that fact. This is a creature collecting multiplayer title. Temtem is a massively multiplayer creature collection adventure. Seek adventure in the lovely airborne archipelago alongside your Temtem squad. Catch every Temtem, battle other tamers, customize your house, join a friend's adventure, or explore the dynamic online world. This is a game where you can sink a lot of time into it. In the game, every kid dreams about becoming a Temtem tamer, exploring the 6 islands of the airborne archipelago, discovering new species, and making good friends along the way. Now it's your turn to embark on an epic adventure and make those dreams come true. You'll be able to catch Temtem, battle other tamers on the sandy beaches. You've got a story campaign where you can journey across 6 different islands. You've got an online world, co-op adventure, housing, customization, and competitive play as well. Temtem will be hitting PlayStation 5 on September 6th. Next up, we have the latest open-world action RPG coming from Warner Bros. Games Montreal, and that is Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights has been long anticipated, and now it's almost finally here. Batman is dead. A new expansive criminal underworld has swept the streets of Gotham City. It is now up to the Batman family, Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin to protect Gotham, bring hope to its citizens, discipline to its cops, and fear to its criminals. From solving mysteries that connect the darkest chapters in the city's history to defeating notorious villains in epic confrontations, Gotham Knights is an open-world action RPG set in the most dynamic and interactive Gotham City yet. Patrol Gotham's 5 distinct boroughs in solo or in cooperative play and drop in on criminal activity wherever you find it. The gameplay has looked rather good with Gotham Knights. Unfortunately, it was scheduled to be a cross-generation title. The last-gen version has been canceled. It'll be a next-gen only title. Gotham Knights hits PlayStation 5 on October 21st. Next up, we have Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This is a game that's been out on PC for a little bit, going back to 2021. The game notes embark on a journey to a realm overrun by demons in an epic new RPG from the creators of the critically acclaimed Pathfinder Kingmaker. Explore the nature of good and evil, learn the true cost of power, and rise as a mythic hero capable of deeds beyond mortal expectations. The game has had a really positive reception on PC, and 83 on Metacritic as well. You'll be able to create any character imaginable with the flexibility versatility, richness, and depth of the Pathfinder 1st Edition rule set. Choose from 25 classes, 12 character races, and more than 1,000 different spells, feats, and abilities to suit your own playstyle. Obviously, the game is going to have a lot of emphasis on decision making. Your decisions have more weight than ever before. Your goal is clear, but you must forge your own path to do it. Who will die, who will live, who will stay, and who will go. Make your own choices and watch the world around you ever evolve and change. A new way to fight, 2 different combat modes as you slay your enemies real time with pause or turn-based, switch between them on the fly. You'll be able to develop your own party and lead a crusade, and again, you'll be able to choose your own path throughout the game. Pathfinder Righteous hits PlayStation 4 on September 29th. Next up, we have a new action RPG coming from Gotham Knights and Prime Matter, and that is the Last Oricru. The Last Oricru just had its release date confirmed. It'll be coming later this year on October the 13th. The Last Oricru is an action RPG with a strong emphasis on storytelling and player choices. The player awakens in a sci-fi medieval world on the brink of a war and starts influencing the destiny of the whole world. The game is designed as both a single-player experience and a cooperative experience, so you can play exactly what you want. It puts you in the middle of an ongoing conflict between 2 races on a partly terraformed planet isolated from outer space by a protective barrier. Your decisions will bring interesting twists into the gameplay as you heavily influence the conflict and its outcome. You'll experience hundreds of intense fights in a brutal medieval meets sci-fi world where every decision has its own consequences. The game notes intriguing story, impactful decision making, a massive decision tree in which your decisions lead to different outcomes, challenging combat, it's easy to learn but hard to master, and you have couch cooperative play included in the game as well. If you're looking for a sci-fi action RPG, this is one to definitely have on your radar. The Last Oricru hits PlayStation 5 on October 13th. Next up, we have a new action RPG in Soulstice coming from Reply Game Studios and Modus Games. Explore a dark world brimming with hidden mysteries, master a diverse combat system, and inhabit the dual forces of 2 sisters in a coming-of-age dark fantasy story with fast-paced action, vicious enemies, and spectacular boss fights included. The game stars 2 sisters who have been reborn as a chimera. The transformation has granted superhuman strength and resilience. However, now they are sent on a mission to reclaim a city in ruins that has been ravaged by the raids, only to discover the order they belong to has far more complex plans in mind. The game notes key features of fighting in synergy, manage the sisters, master melee attacks and combos, explore a city in ruin, customize various weapons and abilities. Weapons are unlocked and upgraded throughout the game and can be switched on the fly to unleash stylish and highly devastating combo attacks. Battle different enemy classes. A vile mix of wraiths, corrupted and possessed, have poured into the world from beyond the veil. Utilize unique auras to expose or weaken these creatures and adapt to the flow of battle that never feels the same, and learn the truth of your origin. A dark story filled with sisterly love and sacrifice. Discover the truth about the sisters and their chimera powers while working together and staying true to their unbreakable bond. Soulstice will be hitting the PlayStation 5 on September 20th. Next up, we have a BLACKTAIL coming from Parasite and Focus Entertainment. Forge the legend of Baba Yaga, a girl accused of witchcraft and expelled from her home. Live out the origins of the Slavic myth in this one-of-a-kind blend of intense archery combat and dark storytelling set in a vibrant fairy tale world. Now, this is a game with more of an action archery focus, but it does have its own RPG elements. Decide the fate of the land and its inhabitants. Witness the impact of your decisions on your skills through BLACKTAIL's morality system. Track down elusive spirits, craft arrows and potions, find hidden treasures, and collect lost recipes and brew elixirs to improve your abilities and shape your playstyle. BLACKTAIL will be hitting the PlayStation 5 on December 15th. Next up, we have a long-awaited upgrade, and that is the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition for next gen. It looks like this will finally be dropping later this year in the latter half of 2022, the 4th quarter of 2022. This is a game that I am very excited to see upgraded. Witcher 3 ran okay on the PlayStation 4, ran pretty well on the PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X. However, now you're going to get a real upgrade on PlayStation 5, and it should look fantastic. A bunch of visual refinements, a range of visual and technical improvements, including ray tracing, faster loading times across the base game, both expansions, and all of the extra content. Best of all, this will be a free upgrade. All of you guys probably already know how excellent The Witcher 3 is. It's one of the best single-player RPGs that you are going to come across. One of the best single-player games of all time, in my opinion, and just to see it get into a more premier state on consoles, that's going to be great to see. The game runs well on higher-end PCs. But now, to be able to play it at that level on consoles, that's going to be very, very nice to see. Next up, we have Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, currently in early access for PC, but will be seeing a release on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on October 25th. Obviously, if you're a fan of medieval combat RPGs, Mount & Blade is a game that is going to be right up your alley. It is a game with a lot of depth to it. The horns sound, the ravens gather, an empire is torn by civil war. Beyond its border, new kingdoms rise. The game has a lot of depth and variety into its gameplay based on what we've seen out of the PC version. Single-player sandbox campaign, play the game the way you want to play it, plot your own path to power in a dynamic sandbox adventure where no playthroughs are ever the same, extensive character creation and progression system, a realistic economy, you've got a variety of different multiplayer game modes as well with breathtaking battles and skill-based directional combat system. This has been a long time coming for the full release of Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, but it'll finally be hitting on October 25th. And lastly, another upgrade to go over, Biomutant will be coming to PlayStation 5 on September the 6th. Now, Biomutant was a game that had a lot of buzz going into it, done by a new development studio in Experiment 101 and published by THQ Nordic. There was a lot of hype surrounding it. Unfortunately, I think for a lot of people, Biomutant didn't hit the level that we were hoping for. It still turned out to be a fairly decent open-world action RPG. You just have to keep your expectations in line. Hopefully, with the PlayStation 5 upgrade, visually, it will be seeing a nice improvement. Quality, 30 frames per second at 4K resolution. Quality unleashed, 40 plus frames per second, averaging 50 to 60 frames per second, up to 4K resolution. And then you have a performance mode in there as well, 60 frames per second, locked at 1440p. On top of that, DualSense upgrades will also be had with Biomutant's PlayStation 5 release. It'll be dropping on September the 6th. And that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of RPGs still to be excited for the latter portion of the year. Really a lot of variety as well. When you look at a game like Steelrising, a creature collector in Temtem, you've got Gotham Knights. A lot of depth into the RPG offerings for the latter portion of the year, and that's definitely going to continue into 2023, but just wanted to cover the last 4 months of 2022 and what we are getting on an RPG front there. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.